Hello and welcome to the course on Selenium Webdriver by CodePrince. The topic today I'm going to cover is Selenium Webdriver architecture. In this lecture, I'm not going to talk about how to write a command or a script to open a browser and perform some actions in it. Rather, I'm going to talk about Selenium Webdriver architecture, which actually tells about the internals of WebDriver and how it is designed to reduce your manual effort. So the best way to understand this particular topic is to hear from the Selenium developers, you know, what they think about it, why they have made this tool, and what is their whole strategy. Let me take you to the Selenium official website. So this is the Selenium official website, and consider this website as the Bible throughout my course. I'm not going to consult any other website for getting information about Selenium or anything. Uh, Selenium.dev is the official website and it ensures that it has the updated information without misguiding or misleading the people with unnecessary informations. So from Selenium, they simply tell that the Selenium automates browser, that's it. So as per Selenium, the jars or tools, whatever they provide, their only motive is to automate browser. So whatever action human performs in the browser, Selenium lets you perform those actions through those tools. So it basically this. So you see the third line, what they mean by that. Primarily, it is for the primarily it is for automating web applications for testing purpose. So why testing? Because we as testers understand that we have to perform a rigorous task of doing, uh, a simple use case may take half an hour to 1 hour of manual effort where you rigorously have to click on buttons, select drop down, click on some other actions, and at the same time validate a couple of things uh, uh, on that web page. So what Selenium does is all those actions that you perform manually, it performs through manually written scripts. I'll show you a small diagram as to what is meant by that. So this is all Selenium WebDriver architecture, which has got 4 components. The first one, as you see, is Selenium client libraries. So libraries are the scripts that we write, and there are certain APIs that is provided by Selenium, and it can be written in Java, Python, C Hash, Ruby, and many other popular languages. If you just go through the list of Selenium official website, you can figure out how many languages it supports. So this is the Selenium client WebDriver language binding, the first component that I was talking about. So as you can see, the languages supported all the popular languages: Ruby, Java, Python, C hash, JavaScript. And yeah, and it also says that while binding, while uh, while language binding for other languages exists, so you have this hyperlink. You can go through it for your knowledge. But for now, if you have a little bit of knowledge around any of these languages, uh, it's just very easy for you to go through the course. And of course, Java is something which I would be taking in my course. I'll let you understand the basics of Java and what all things will be useful throughout our course. So you don't have to worry about that. So this is the first part. The second part is JSON wireframe protocol over HTTP. So whatever scripts you write using the APIs provided by Selenium, that is actually when it is compiled and we try to run it, it is actually converted into JSON. And through JSON wire protocol over HTTP, it is sent over to the browser drivers. So these drivers are kind of servers, you can imagine, that understands the JSON messages. So JSON messages can have a typical information like opening a browser or selecting a drop down or clicking on a button and things like that. So a browser driver, if the JSON message uh, has information that it has to run on Chrome or let's say Firefox or any other popular browser. In this case, let's say we have given a message through JSON that it has to execute on a Chrome. So Chrome driver will understand the messages that is sent through the Selenium client libraries and convert it into some actionable task on the real browser. So browser driver understands what Selenium client libraries has sent through JSON, converts it into some actionable uh, tasks on the real browser, and the real action is performed on these browsers. And when performed successfully, the real browser sends the message back to the browser driver through HTTP saying that this action has been performed successfully. And our script also gets updated with the information about the success or the failure. So this is the whole architecture. When I was going through the initial, when I was just showing you the WebDriver Selenium official website. So what did it talk about? It just talked about Selenium automates browser. So aren't we achieving this through this particular architecture? So all three components that you see over here, if you do manual testing, there will be just a manual tester sitting over here. He would be performing some actions on the real browser and knowing the result visually, whether it was performed correctly or not. But by replacing the whole thing with three components that communicates over the HTTP and reduces your manual effort, isn't that great? So with that, I'll be closing out this lecture. This is the basic of the Selenium WebDriver architecture, and this should always be this image should always be in your mind while while writing any of the scripts throughout the course, because this is the basics. And once you grow in your organization as a lead or a manager, this particular image is what you need to make any kind of enhancement if you want to make on Selenium WebDriver framework. Thanks for now. Join you in another lecture. Thank you.